Hey guys, Nick Kellar, Greg Brock, Atlas Premier Realty. Have another video blog for you today. Today I actually wanted to get into, since we're nearing the end of 2019, going into 2020, we wanted to chat and touch on if you are going to make a move in 2020, some things that you should be doing or considering doing now versus waiting till the last minute.
Right.
So we're really talking about that planning stage, that information gathering stage.
Well, first of all, I want to address the fact that we are twinsies.
Oh, you didn't want to, I was just going to let that go.
No, I think it's great. I think you look great.
This happens at least twice a week.
So normally the first thing that you want to do, whether this is buying or selling, is to talk with us, to reach out to your real estate agent, your trusted advisor in the real estate realm, and get an idea of where we stand in the current market and put together a strategy.
Yeah, why is that? Just you don't want to go at it alone, right?
Yeah, first of all, you don't want to go at it alone, and secondly, there's so many moving parts to either one of those processes, let alone if you're doing both a buy and a sell. You got to have a plan in place.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that some of the traps that we see people fall into is they try to get so far ahead of the game on their own because they don't want to waste your time or spin their wheels. In reality, you're not. I mean, a big part of the process is the planning aspect of it, and that's really what's going to set you up for success and how you're positioned, whether you're buying or selling or doing both. So, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, it's surprising to me how much time people put in planning a 1-week vacation, but when you're talking about one of these major life events like making a move, they're often hesitant to put in that planning stage of it. And that's really where you can be strategic and help lay the groundwork for a successful move. So that is a critical first step. It's never too early to start having that conversation. So if this is something that you're forecasting is something you're going to do in 2020, we should start having those conversations soon, or at least getting the ball rolling.
Absolutely. And then after that, usually if you're making a move, you're going to be purchasing another house. The next move is going to be to talk to your lender.
Yeah. So all you're doing is just starting to, rather than guessing, we never want to guess. And buying and selling a home or doing both is just one long equation. So we're filling in the variables of the transaction with constants through known evidence, facts, information, and we help you do all of that.
So after we talk to the lender, what do we do next?
Well, that would depend on what we're doing. So if we're just buying a house, then at that point we kind of have the golden ticket to start looking for homes. It's the fun part. It's the shopping. If you're selling a home, there's a few other things that have to go into account before you consider actually start looking at homes. And this is going to be the positioning phase of positioning conversation with your house, and there's a lot of different variables that goes into that.
And really, we will have mapped out that process in our initial conversation as far as what's going to come next in selling your house, whether that's going to be a staging consultation with our stager, or renovations, updates, upgrades, etc. So
yep, and I think from our vantage point, for your sanity, if you're looking to get into the market, really the key piece of information that we need to help lay this out and the necessary time blocks and benchmarks is really when you want to do this buy.
Right.
So if you say, hey, I want to be in this new house to sell and I want to be in my new house by August, then we can help you reverse engineer that as to what you're going to need to do and when you're going to need to do it by, to keep it in bite-sized chunks so you're not so overwhelmed.
The other thing that I often talk about in our listing appointment is people need deadlines. And we can help you do that. If you kind of just sit out there without an advisor, without telling you how to work that timeline backwards, you might just end up, either too late into the process or not getting the stuff done that you should have. So we kind of help you keep that accountability to get the process moving.
Yep. And I think a lot of people are always naturally curious as to when's the right time to get into the market. And I mean, there's certainly some seasonality impact that could factor into that. But I think by and large, it's really when you're comfortable doing this buy and when your lifestyle will handle that, whether it be getting out of a lease or getting out of the house that you want to sell to buy the next house. And I think it really comes down to there is no right or wrong time, as long as you have some flexibility and just understanding that it's really going to come down to how you're positioned in the market. Right. So, and if you're positioned well, no matter what the season is, you're set up for success. So it all goes back to that planning and info gathering stage.
So with that, all that being said, the real key factors here are to reach out to your real estate advisor and speak with them, get a sit-down meeting on the books, really build out that strategy with them. And that's really going to lay
Talk
the
to your
groundwork.
mortgage professional, find out where you can be positioned from a financial standpoint, and really just take away all of the variables and fill them with as many constants as possible, and then keep it in bite-sized chunks and know what your benchmarks are. So hopefully that helps as we roll into 2020. Hope you've had a great 2019. As always, we appreciate the support throughout the year. We'll look forward to doing more of these with you guys next year. Thanks.
Thanks. Have a good one.